Now, I request the topper of the batch, like Bharat Garu, the highest majority in the Andhra Pradesh, our Honorable MP, Bharat Garu, to address the gathering.
Thank you, Rajesh Garu. I think once we enter Parliament, whether we win with 5 votes or how much, it doesn't matter. We're all colleagues. We're all working for the good of the state. To all the dignitaries on the dais and all the guests in the audience, thank you for attending and the full house. I just want to address Mr. Raju to begin with. I was just looking at numbers. The GDP of Visakhapatnam is 10th in the country, but in terms of airport traffic, we're 27. So there's a huge gap that needs to be filled. I think with the leadership of the GMR group, and if you saw the AV, they're marketing Vizag as much as we should, right? So they will bring traffic here. It's good for business. It's good for the local environment. So I think the challenge that we would request you to take on is that let's at least match our GDP number and come to the 10th highest air traffic destination in this place and then start beating that. And our challenge today is that they are running so fast that we are playing catch up to provide all of the support infrastructure to them. It's very likely that the airport will be completed well within 2 years. 18 months, Rajgaru? Yeah, 18 months is the... Huh? So now the big question is, how do we reach this airport? Because now this airport is very convenient for all of us who are in the city, take the Port Road and you go. The beach road at Beamley becomes, transitions from 4-lane to 2-lane. And the national highway that goes to Srikakulam is now being connected to the airport with the initiative of the GMR group. But from the city, how do we connect to the highway? We are looking at 2-3 different alternatives because the overall beach road upgrade may take a little bit longer. But at least convenience of travel to the airport is something that will be done immediately. The other thing I think that the city must do, and maybe it's not relevant to everybody in this audience, is our international air cargo, which was stopped in the airport, has to again restart. We have to take that up because a lot of high-value products are today being transported to other airports, and we're losing out on that economic activity here. So we'll definitely do that. And the MRO will request again Rajgaru to take it up because that will bring a lot of high-skilled jobs to this environment, and we'll be very keen. I'm glad that you mentioned it. I think as far as finance is concerned, everyone who's thinking about any major infrastructure project is, it's like the dream, right? Build it and they shall come. So the economy is growing. There's a lot of positivity. There may be the ones who are over-conservative will always have questions on what's going to happen, but I think fortune favors the brave. And I think the brave move that the GMR group is doing goes beyond emotional. I'm sure it's going to do very well financially. And I think it will be a shining light for the greater Northern Andhra. And many other points that are being covered today, just want to give some inputs and some requests. Our DISCOM here, EPDCL, which is going to be represented later on, is one of the best performing DISCOMs in the country on many metrics, even within the state. I just had a review meeting with them recently, and we discussed about uninterrupted power supply to industry, to the greater ecosystem, and I think we're getting very close to that. A lot of improvements that are happening over there. A very important project which I would like to raise awareness through on this platform is this PM Suryagar project where rooftop solar is being encouraged in a huge way, and subsidies are being given to the extent of almost 50%. And it is to apartments, to individual homes, and they want to do 1 crore homes in the country. I would like to take on a target of Andhra Pradesh at least doing 10 lakhs of that. So through all of you, I think please raise awareness in your communities. I think it will be great if we can really take that on, because that will really reduce the burden of electricity on this electricity cost on this state. On the internet and electricity cabling, we have a huge outlay of UG cabling. I think we will complete it within the next 2 to 3 years. And you will see the greater Visakhapatnam area will not have any exposed electricity wires at the end of this project. So we're very keen to complete that. It'll transform not just the utility, but the aesthetic, and it'll also make us disaster proof. Now, a very small percentage of the city is completed, but a large part remains, and we will be completing that also. As far as the port logistics and road connectivity is concerned, some of you may be aware the Sheila Nagar to Sapavaram road is under construction. It will be completed very soon. The Convent Junction to Sheila Nagar road is also sanctioned and the work has begun. That will also be completed soon. So I think a lot of the truck traffic or the cargo traffic will be exiting the city without damaging passenger flow. And in terms of major infra, the spinal highway that connects Anakapalli to Beamly through the city, where we have major traffic junctions, all of you experience those traffic issues. There are 12 proposed flyovers on this road, and we still have NHAI helping us with this. So we, in a recent review meeting with the Chief Minister was very kind to agree that we will merge those 12 into 3 elongated elevated expressways. So it will be akin to an elevated highway with entries and exits in multiple points. And on top of that, we are planning a metro. So basically it's a road, a flyover, and a metro on top of that. Complex design, but I think if we don't build it now, then when? Very glad that the ministers here also are very keen. Lokesh Garu was just saying that if you don't build it now, 10 years later, it's going to be 5 times as expensive or 6 times as expensive. So whatever pain we go through now. So we're very determined to do it. We're just working out the logistics of the design and the cost. And I think if it comes through, the center of the city will have huge relief. We want to satisfy short-term challenges of traffic management and completing the flyovers, but also not damage the long-term. That if we think only short-sighted, then within 10 years we'll run out of infrastructure again. The metro, right now, phase 1, I think in principle approval is there. I think formalities have to be worked out, but last mile connectivity will come up over time for sure. And the last point on housing, I've been requesting in every meeting that I've been going to that let us go for vertical housing. Let's not do ground G or G+1. Let's go G+10, G+15, because land in Visakhapatnam has become so expensive now. And if you look at any global example of growing economies like China and other countries, they've all gone vertical. And for us, we sometimes don't do that, but I think, again, the government today is thinking very progressively. And the officers are also now innovating on how do we use low-income housing projects and innovate in them to build high-rise towers. So a lot of work happening. I think the respective ministers are here, and I'm sure they have